Chandraya Radhikaya Tada Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Iti Namine Sri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Audaya Tam Varam Vareni Purushamahantam Narayanam Tam Sirasa Sridandina Bhakta Siromanim Cha Sri Krishna Padam Javasaitam Chaitanya Lila Amrita Saradharam Narayanam Sadatam Prapadye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Sri Vasadi Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let me offer millions of blessings to the Rupan Guru Varga, Namanishta Santana, Dandava Pranam. All present, past, future, Vaishnava, Tavatana, Pranam. Vancha, Kalpataru, Vyascha, Krupa, Sindhu, Devacha, Patitanam, Pavanibhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namo. Today, very interesting day. Very nice day, wonderful day. Prabhupada parts, Sri Narari Seva Vigraha, Shirobhava. Narari Seva Vigraha, Shirobhava, disappeared. And then Tridandi songs, Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Gosai Maharaj, appearance day. Then Jaydev Goswami's disappearance day tomorrow. And then 15th is Sunday, Makara Sankranti. That means sun traveling in the southern direction ends. And 16th it starts on the northern direction. Then Lochandas Thakur's disappearance day on 16th. And 18th is Shaktila Ekadasi Upavas. So then 21st is Saturday, new moon day, Mauni Amavas, was Gurudev's appearance day, So maybe we can have some special program. That day anyway we'll have a program, right? Saturday. Then 26th is Vasanta Panchami. So very amazing month. Now today is our scheduled question and answers. Right? So we will touch upon Seva Vigraha Narari Thakur. Amazing, or Parama Gurudeva, had tears in his eyes. Gurudeva also amazing. Then Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, also amazing personality. His darshan last time in Jagannath Puri many years ago. So we will take a few questions, then we will come on that. Yeah, Uh, um, I think the question is without our beads, right? I think so. Huh? So with bead or without bead? How many hours we can do? 64 hours can we chant fast? Hridaya. Hmm. Like Narari Sarkar, Narari Prabhu, we are talking, Narari Thakur, Seva Vigraha. No, his name was Seva Vigraha. So Param Gurudev was saying that his every limb and sub limb, you know, suppose you take this hand, you know, the sub limb is like these fingers, within finger, these little, you know, all this, everything was in the service. You know, it could not live without service. So, chanting is also service, right? We are begging, you know, oh Radhe, you know, Radharaman, oh Radhe, Radharaman, engage me in your service. You know. Please show me my Swarupa, you know, original Swarupa. Hare, you know, oh Radhe, you know, the first mantra, oh Radhe. My mind is like a monkey, you know, I cannot control, you can control. So we seek Radha's help in controlling our mind because we cannot control it. It's not in our hand. So we are asking Radha. Because why? By engage, she can engage everything in service of Krishna. You know? So instead of engaging Krishna, now it's engaging in its own sense gratification. You know? And only she can. Only thing we have to ask is we have to beg her, ask her, you know, hands up, you know, her unto you, I'm helpless. Like in army, right? In a war, suppose you are surrendering, you are giving up your weapons, right? Fighting your weapons. You remember? Fighting up weapons is like what? I know this, I am this, I much so much property, this, the connection with this entire world is some kind of a weapon, okay? All useless weapon. So in front of Radha, we are saying, Radhe, I'm throwing away all my weapons, meaning connection with this material world. Like 2 hands up. I have nothing to do with this material world. So I'm surrendering to you. Now you take control, you know. Right? That's how the opposite army surrenders, right? They raise their hands and walk. So, you know, like that, we have to, you know, otherwise, this is, we are, material world is like a war. Which war? Nobody can win this war. Right? Everybody will get defeated in the Maya. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Maya, you know, nobody can win. Only when we surrender to Krishna through Guru. All the Guru is from Radharan, right? Service. So then only we can cross over. Then she will not bother us. Hey, please, you know. So after all, this Maya is the other side of Radharan, you know, basically. The shadow part of it. So that's why the first thing is mind. Mind, we are surrendering. We cannot, we are requesting, oh Radharani, take over, engagement. So, Hare Krishna, then we ask for help of Krishna, because he has to attract. Whatever Radharani does Krupa, Krishna is interested. Only wherever there is Radharani's Krupa, Krishna will be interested, okay, to attract. Otherwise, he is not. So, so Radharani infuses the serving mentality, serving. So, Hare Krishna, Krishna attract. Then Hare, again, we are asking Radhe, oh, give the Chit Shakti, transcendental Shakti. So far, I'm submerged in this material Shakti, all useless. See, that's why the Atato Brahma Jignasa says, come to this point now by Harikatha, by meeting a sadhu, all our strives, all our trying is all useless and then no value, permanent value. So Jignasa, that means chanting Hare Krishna mantra. That means start serving the transcendental without Krishna. So this is what it is. So chanting is actually service, begging for service. And also asking the commanders, lieutenant commanders, all these people to help us. There are so many difficulties, obstacles coming in my service. Please remove them. Biggest is our mind. Right. Biggest. And we have seen, right? We have heard enough. So, most unworthy of trust, but what to do? We have to trust. Time immemorial, we are trusting. So we are being misled. Now we have to somehow, so engage that. So that's why this Maha Mantra meaning mind, mantra, taking care, mind, controlling the mind, bringing up the mind in proper perspective, real perspective, spiritual mantra. So mind is biggest, our biggest enemy and biggest friend. We have to make it as our biggest friend. So this is the so how it is possible? By the service attitude. So that's why chanting, chanting all the time. Say, I will tell you one thing. In system theory, I don't know how many of you read about system theory. In physics and engineering, what it is a system will have three things, right? State of the system, input to the system, and output to the system. Now, what they do is they take the output and part of it feedback to the input. They add it to the input and they feed. Then the system characteristics is very interesting, depending upon the how much you feedback in phase or out of phase, like that. It becomes stable or not stable, like that. So, if you want to have a stable, there is certain conditions. You add to the input signal, and then if you are like an oscillator feedback, stabilize the phase and something like that. In other words, system becomes stable by the feedback of the output to the input. So in our system is actually suppose we say our whole body, especially this mind is a system, right? Mind is like a software, subtle software. Of course, our software is superior. The mundane software is actually not real software. Okay, really. Maybe some other time we can get in. But anyway, the sound we hear, right? We are hearing with our Hare Krishna, right? I'm loudly chanting and I'm hearing. That means I'm feeding back to the ear, right? Here we are inputting. Understand? Inputting to the eye, ear, nose, smell, tongue, touch, like that. To the ear, right? Ear, like last time we saw, our ear is very, very special case, special sense. So we are feedback. You understand? So with that, what happens is the system becomes stable. Stable meaning what? We become free from the external influences, dragging. Otherwise, that would start dragging, this would start dragging. In a certain way. If you say and then hear, it becomes stable. Mind becomes get trapped. It does not go crazy. Or it will not make us crazy. So that is very interesting. In other words, they are using that principle, making the system stable like that. So, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ತಾಯಿ. ತಾಯಿ ನಾಳೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ತಾಯಿ. ತಾಯಿ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾಳೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ತಾಯಿ. ನೀವು ಬರಬೇಡಿ, ನಾನು ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟರೊಳಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ತಾಯಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡೋಣ. ನಿಮ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು? ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ದು? ಆಯ್ತು, ಕೇಳಿ. ನಾಳೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ತಾಯಿ. ನಾನೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ತಾಯಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಟ್ರಬಲ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ನಾನೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ನಾನೇ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಮಾತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಹೌದಾ? ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಅವನು ಇದಾನಲ್ವಾ? ಈಗ ಅಮ್ಮನ್ಗೆ ತಾಯಿ ನೀವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇದು 300 ಅವ್ರು ಕೈ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಸಾರಿ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್. ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬನ್ನಿ. ಓಟ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. So this feedback, so we say and then hear. This is really scientific, makes us stable. So now, of course, the chanting. See why we are using the Tulsi? Because Tulsi is seva. See, on day of Ekadasi, completely engaged in service. Understand? So touching her beads, we get impression. We are empowered. See, she draws us into service. Understand? So that's why. So the senses, once it touches Tulsi bead, it will not be interested in touching anything else. Understand? So it conquers that sense of touch. Then hearing, the sound is transcendental sound. So the touch and the sound, overpowers anything else, so we will be completely engaged. Now, so when you are doing service, like in this question, without beard, or when you say cutting the vegetables, you cannot chant, we are engaging. But then your mouth, we can Hare Krishna, no problem. We are not using, the knife to cut through our mouth, right? Like this, right? No, with my hand, So when you chant that, I will tell you, it's very powerful. Do anything, cutting vegetables or cooking, stirring, Hare Krishna, I will tell you, the whole thing gets purified. And people who take that prasad, they very quickly cross over these three modes of material nature. Okay. No. Tamasic, Rajasic. Immediately come to the good mode of goodness and then cross over goodness. No. Shuddha, pure goodness. So their mind becomes calm, quiet. Their senses will not take them, out of whack. So if you want to control, or if you want to bring your family members in line, this is the key. Okay, prasadam. If it is properly done in this fashion, okay. Prasadam is, I will tell you, is very, 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 very powerful. Because prakashad ananda jana, samarasya pradana, darshanat parata, prabhu sa sakshat darshan. This is Lord's sakshat, non-different darshana. He has, Lord Krishna has appeared in the form of prasad. Okay. Understand? He has appeared in the form of his name, the deity. Same way, prasad is non-different from him. That's why our Gurudev says, we have to do service to the prasad, not eating. So we take it in the mood of service. Okay. So service comes up. So accepting prasad is also service to him. Imagine. It's really very high. So it will completely take away our mentality of exploitation or bhogalalase, siddhilalase, mukti, bhogalalase, enjoying tendency. Biggest enemy. Enjoying. Service. So it doesn't matter whether it doesn't have to be chanting all the time. Of course, through the mouth, we have to keep chanting. This Narahari Thakur, Seva Vigrah, apparently such a personality, no one has seen him sleeping or taking rest. Always doing service. Sometimes they have seen he takes his shika, ties to some eye part, and then he starts chanting. Because in case if he goes into like sleep, you get a jerk and he will get up. Really amazing personality. Param Gurudev glorifies him so much. That's why Param Gurudev named the entry, the main gate to Devanand Gaudiya Math as Narahari Torana. Narahari Torana in his name. Entry. In other words, the whole mutt is representing him. Devotees is to say, if he's remembering him or with him, is like they are in Gaudiya Math. He's like mother of Gaudiya Math. So never angry or anything. Even one time, Gurudev remembers one incidences, but he was trying to protect and then became big, dispute, and then he came and then he settled it without any incident because well-known personality, you know, uh, in any situation never get disturbed. See, this is the what it is. The chanting of Mahamantra, why? It will enable us to face the disturbing events in our life calmly, quietly. You know, oh, nothing. I don't have to. You know, so that's why this feedback, you know, calms us down. You know, uh, but if you are having only feedback from this material world, if you are thinking, oh, that uh, restaurant was okay, or this was okay, this, all this mundane, useless. What happens if that is getting feedback? Then we get disturbed, right? So that's why we should have this Mahamantra feedback all the time, with bead or without bead. But it doesn't mean that we have to keep the bead always someplace, or the ಆಯ್ತು ಇದು ಒಂದು ಇದು ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಹಾ, ಹೌದಾ? ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಧೂಪ್ಸ್ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡೋದು, ಧೂಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಗರಬತ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್? ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎರಡನೇದು. So with bead or without bead, but what our Param Gurudev is saying is, don't keep the beads hungry, right? See, by touching them, they are Tulsi Devi. See, Tulsi Devi, if we keep touching all the time, and she feels very happy. She feels contented. If you don't touch her, keep it in some place, she becomes like disturbed. Hey, wait a minute. He's not feeding me. By touching her, that means we are doing service to Krishna, right? If we are engaged in service to Krishna, then she is like being healthy, happy, contented. If we don't touch, so don't keep her hungry, all the time. Sometime, you have to do some service, okay. But meaning during those times too, I've heard, especially during, Navadip Parikrama, preparations, they were so busy. And Param Gurudev used to say, give your beads, I will keep chanting. I used to take them, like that, to that extent. So certain time we have to chant using beads, okay? That gives us strength. ಹೌದಾ? ಆಯ್ತು. Then in how many hours we can do 64 hours, can we chant fast? Actually, we should chant fast, Initially, of course, we have to chant, I cannot chant loud, fast. Like, it's like, suppose when you're driving, can you drive fast? You can't, right? So you have to avoid. See, you should not you should not drive recklessly. Understand? You have to chant. You have to drive according to the surrounding traffic flow, right? You have to move in the flow. It cannot be too slow, too fast, right? Healthy driving. But if you are alone, so that is different, right? Even then, you have to follow the rules, regulation. Right? Cannot be reckless. The same way, the chanting. So how many hours it takes? 64 rounds. It depends on some. Some will do 20 minutes, 16, 24, 5 minutes, like that. 160, 16 rounds. So 25 into 4. 25, 50, 100 minutes. So roughly, right? 25, 100 minutes. So some people can finish in hour and a half. Okay, hour and a half. Some take 3 hours. Some take 6 hours, but that is too much, So chanting, because the mind is very quick, very fast, okay. So to control the mind, if you are slowly Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, our mind will go around the world and come back. When you say Hare Krishna, whoo! So the more louder, more faster, the mind has to concentrate. That's why hearing, it has to come back very quickly. It has to do certain things, come quickly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Because unless the mind registers, we cannot hear. Right? Mind has to be involved. The whole process of chanting is to control the mind. So it's like tying up. Suppose the cow is there grazing here and there. You leave it, it will go here, there, blah. Within a couple of minutes, I will tell you, it would have gone couple of kilometers. But if we tie, it will be right there. Like that, our mind, depending. So that's why it has to be tied up to the Naam, hearing of the Naam. Then it cannot drag us. It will drag us, okay, but within certain thing, within limited thing. Otherwise, whole universe, mind is, the more we understand about the mind, then we can deal with it very nicely. We have to understand. Mind does not get old. Okay. Suppose people will get old. Physically, we get old, right? Bodily strength going down. But mind, that's why, like one question was asked, when will our desire for karma, go away? You think when we are old, 90 years old, oh, you don't look at opposite. No. Mind is young, is the subtle body, does not get old. So we should not fall into that trap. We have to control. By age, mind is not going to come in control. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If we think. ಹೌದಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಹೌದಾ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೌದಾ ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಮೋದರ್ ಅಂತ ಇದಾನಲ್ಲ ಕರೀರಿ ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ನಾವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್? ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ನಾಮ್ ಜಪ, ಈರುಳ್ಳಿ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು. ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ನೀವು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಭಗವಂತ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ನಾವ್ ಯಾರು ಇರೋದು, ಇರೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಏನಪ್ಪ, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 50 ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯಾರ ಇವ್ರು, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿಯ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ. ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ we have to chant fast, okay? See, when we grow like anything else, we will be quicker, is it not? As experience increases, we do things fast, natural, So, of course, chanting is not for the sake of numbers. See, this is the thing our Gurudev is stressing. The quality is important, quantity also, but you have to balance it. So, but just to increase, making the quantity, if you quality cannot forsake. Quality meaning to the extent we are hearing, the now. Extent we are not getting disturbed by other things. During that time, we have to keep telling ourselves, constant practice and detachment. Krishna is saying, constant practice, meaning, striving to hear only. And detachment with the other words, other things. Other things should not disturb us during that time. We should say, hey, let's do later, okay? Right now, this is important. This is the only process. Hearing is my duty, is my business, and nothing else. I will hear about anything else later. You understand? First itself, we make a sankalpa. During this time, please, I don't want to get disturbed by anything in this world. They can wait. That's not the end of this world. So, to the extent we give importance to this process, understand? Then we, to that extent, we progress. So we should give topmost priority to this hearing. That's why the Vedas, what does they say? There's only one rule. What is that? Remember Krishna. And never forget Krishna, second rule. Okay. Remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. There is nothing else. All other rules are all subservient to these two rules. So we have to make life such that all others are subservient to this rule, chanting. That's why our Gurudev says, never stop chanting. To do that, never criticize, never complain. You understand? Never complain, never criticize. Our Gurudev keep telling, even lowest bhaktas, Kanishta, to respect. If you don't respect them, then even you will not be able to respect me either, or anybody else. Mahaprabhu Radha. Because everybody is in him. For us, Guru is the embodiment, he is all the whole thing is there. So everybody is in him. So see, in the Christian thing, love thy father with all your heart, with all your soul, all your might. Remember? Then love thy neighbor. Suppose you love God with all your heart, all your soul, and if you hate your neighbor, you think it will be okay? You understand what I'm saying? Or you love thy neighbor but hate God, you think it has to be both, including, right? Inclusive. That's why love thy neighbor meaning it cannot be not just love thy Christian neighbor, not love thy human neighbor. You understand? Love thy neighbor, everybody, even your enemy, your this, that, So all inclusive, you know. When we make it, some kind of segregation or thing, then this first thing will be incomplete. To some extent, it will break apart. So it becomes incomplete. So we are actually, uh, you know, we are fooling ourselves in a sense. You understand? So inclusive. This is Krishna consciousness is all inclusive. It is, all others are all subset or not even subset, I would say. They don't come very close to this. So bodily concept. And anyway, I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? So, so how many hours can we do? It doesn't matter. You try, okay? And don't be, oh, I'm taking too long, so I will give up. No, don't do that. Okay. After all, we are in UKG, LKG, first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth, keep going, right? So don't try to jump, Be steady where you are. That's why constant practice and detachment. These are the two things. Don't, you keep striving, give up, try to make up our commitment. Okay, 1 lakh meaning, all right. 16 rounds, okay, if you, wherever you are at, but try to do that. And then try to increase it. Da, da, da. And then detachment. During that time, detached, uh, so if you try to do these two, gradually the speed will come. Speed will come with detachment, and there are 3 ways of chanting, right? Louder, softly, and then in mind. Combination of these 3. You can adjust, that way you can make speed, So, like I give this example, I've given this anyway again. Suppose you are driving on the highway, you are behind somebody vehicle, you're also going. What is the problem? Driving. Oh, going. Then you are not giving much attention on the driving, is it not? What happens if your attention goes for messaging, WhatsApp, this, that, phone call, da da da. Still you are driving. Understand? But your attention is not full on driving. Not necessary because you are just following behind, somebody. Da, da, da. You get what I'm saying? But you try to go fast, that means you have to pay more attention. You have to look back who is coming behind you. Then you have to see who is in front of you. Like this, like this, like this. Then you have to pay complete attention on driving. If you want to drive fast, in presence of so many vehicles, then you have to pay attention. Otherwise, you will involve in accident. Same way in this material world, we have so many traffic. What kind of traffic? Is this thing is driving me? Oh, this meeting, this person, that person, um, eating, drinking, all these things are all traffic. Understand? It's dragging our mind here and here and there. So we are trying to drive through all these things. Understand? Without paying attention. Paying attention, but so that we will not be dragged by that. Understand? We will not be disturbed by these so many elements. we are going through. So that means you have to fast and not get, before they attract you. Understand? Before they interact, you see in accidents, the other vehicles is getting in the way, in your way, right? You are trying to avoid. Same way, you know. So if you are going fast, chanting, if you are involving in chanting, then these things will not catch our attention, mind's attention. Otherwise, dragging, hey, mind, look at me. Give me your attention. Give me your some time for me. Dedicate your time, right? So, single task. What I'm saying is, in chanting, um, single task. Remember, the computer is looking at keyboard scanning, mouse scanning, internet, all these, so many jobs. Then it looks at your typing, once in a while, few milliseconds. Now we want to make sure all this process is not be there. Just one process. Okay, chanting, hearing, saying and then hearing. Then it is like sunlight. Okay, sunlight is everywhere. It will not catch fire, right? Paper, any paper in the sunlight, they don't get caught fire, right? You take a lens, focus it, focus, it's fire. Because all that energy gets focused, it gets fire. Same way, this speed is like focusing. If we not completely, but then the holy name, I will tell you, cuts through all these things, and and then you get real rest. What is deep sleep? You are completely cut off with this material, dangling, right? So holy name does that. That's why chanting 1 hour of holy name is equivalent to 7 hours of deep sleep rest, right? Harvard University finding, right? Relaxation response, they call it. Many years ago, I think they did 70, 60, 70, this research. So you can see how it is possible. That's why our acharyas, they used to take how long, many hours rest? Basically nothing. Raghunath Das Goswami, hardly any time. Rupa Sanatana. But how? Because of this, one intense chanting, So it will organize. If you spend like that, then it makes you organize. You can do other things, the worldly things, very quickly, very organized. This chanting, if you give top priority to chanting, okay, I'm willing to give up everything, chant during that time, then you will be, by the mercy of the Naam, you will be able to accomplish other things very smoothly, very orderly. It will make our life orderly. Yeah. So I hope it is clear now, I think. So can we move, or any other, or no other question? Okay. Okay. No, it's see, first time we understand that, right? So second time also we cannot offer that same food to Lord, right? First time is offering, but when you take it, um, uh, second day, suppose you keep it, make it warmer, like when you are honoring it, you have to do again arati, mind. Okay, it is no problem, you know, because you are doing service to the prasadam, service prasadam, and we have to do honor again, same way, thinking that going around, then respecting, this is actually mercy of the Lord, absolutely no difference from the Lord. We should do, is no problem. And of course, is in the Western world, this is something, sometimes we have to do that. But on one hand, it's okay, but if you can distribute that, you cook sometime, right? Even people don't know, you offer it to the Lord and then distribute to any living entity, they will also get benefited. That way you don't have to store it. See? So, but if you, of course, if you don't have time, that is different. So you see your choice, but both is okay. Distribution so that nothing is left. Or if you don't have time to make and offer it, then that's also okay. But then again, make sure you're offering, meaning, arati going around, around it, and then accepting it. Um, Actually, Chaitya Guru, see, are we talking to Krishna directly or indirectly, So directly we cannot, Actually, we never do directly, See, our sampradaya is like always dasanu, dasanu, dasi, 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 dasya, dasya, dasi, meaning sevaki, 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 So we are servant of the servant of the servant. Sometimes he might interact, Then we say, no, we are nothing to do with Krishna, Please, I'm subservient, servant of Radharani, don't bother me, So then he'll be more pleased, But in one sense, we have to understand that the parampara is also not different from him, Krishna. Actually, there is no uh, No difference. See, Abhinna. No, our Gurudev is Abhinna from Krishna, and Guru Parampara is Abhinna. So, by like say the current and the power, the current that is generated at the generating station is same voltage, same phase as we are here, but we are not directly connected. We are connected to the grid, right? So many grid, right? But there is no loss. So, but Krishna is such a way in the spiritual world, like when he's taking prasadam, honoring. So many sakas are sitting. It appears like that Krishna is in front of everybody, but he is one, he's sitting there. But they all feel that he's sitting, Krishna is sitting in front of him, and he is sitting in front of Krishna, and he is feeding Krishna, and Krishna is feeding. That is amazing. No, that's how. So, so same way, even here also in this conditioned state, Krishna, we have to feel that Krishna has appeared our Guru Parampara. You understand? So by serving Guru, we are exactly serving Krishna. Now Krishna has come in that form. If he comes directly in his form, original form, we cannot understand, or he cannot understand us, because he is in that mode. But now he has come in that form, he is matching. See, Guru will match. He appears like a human, he will interact you, will understand your problem. You understand? He's like a friend. He can reveal your mind. Understand? He understand. He will not exploit you like that. You understand? But yeah, Krishna has come in that form. You have to feel to matching with me, because right now I'm here. See, suppose you are in a kindergarten. In a kindergarten, teacher, how he has to talk mathematics? You think he can talk differential equations, integration, right? Right. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, like that. Even that may be difficult, right? EKG, LKG, right? If he's talking integral, that complicated vectors and you're out of mind. The teacher has to match with the mindset of the students. You understand? And the students will have their own questions during, to that level. Then gradually we grow. Then we come up with other teachers, right? Now those teachers, suppose in high school, they don't talk in the same as UKG, LKG, right? They talk a little more sophisticated. It doesn't mean that we disrespect the UKG, LKG teachers. They know, but they have to interact in such a way. Same way high school teachers. Now, you understand what I'm saying? College students, college teachers like that. But they're all teachers, actually coming from Balaram in our tradition, okay, has appeared. Balaram from Krishna's side, and then from Radha's side, it is a service mentality, okay? Both are there. So, that way, we should feel that they are non-different from Krishna in this stage, and we serve them. And to that extent, they are also qualified, Vaishnava's guru. There is no difference, You actually make more progress that way. You cannot directly approve immediately, Actually, there is no difference. Krishna himself has come in that. He himself says Bhagavatam, Acharya Mam, myself has come as Acharya. don't be, don't disrespect honoring. Don't be envious, So in that sense, and we also see that Krishna has come. We have to see Krishna can appear in any form, is it not? He has appeared. So see, one time, I think I told you my experience in Vrindavan. Amazing. Their feeling is, I will tell you, Vrajavasi is Namo Namah. They may not chanting this and that. Suppose you go Madhukari, they consider that Krishna Balram has come. The sadhu, they don't see as sadhu. They see Krishna Balram has come. You have to give them. That's how they see. Now, one time, Akrur Ghat, I was long time back, it is Madhukari, I'm staying there. So I was trying to do some service to the Krishna Balram, Akrur Ghat, in the morning, these goats and all these cows used to come grazing and they go Yamuna. And one time, one small goat, baby goat, left over. I was thinking, wait a minute, it got lost. So I took that, carried to the Yamuna, and then asking those covered boys, is it yours? They said, no, not me. Then what I'm supposed to do with this? No, you go and leave it in the middle of the village, Akrur village, right? Then it will find its house. Then I said, okay. So I left it there. Next day, this one person comes. Or the same day, when Rajavasi comes and asks me a question. हमारा छोटा ठाकुर को देखा महाराज आप हमारा छोटा ठाकुर को देखा. This is exact words. What does it mean? Oh Maharaj, did you see my small Thakur? They call it Krishna's Thakur, right? Small Krishna. Asking, did you see my small Krishna? I will tell you. I couldn't believe my things. Understand? But it is. So that's why respect. Gurudev keeps telling. Don't criticize. Don't see. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, right? In his Upadeshamrita, what does he say? If it is there. It says, Keval acharayita prachar karma. If it is without practice, preaching is karma anga. It is a part of karma. So without परस्वभाव की निंदा ना कर आत्म संशोधन करना चाहिए, यही मेरा उपदेश. My instruction to you is what? Without criticizing others' nature, we correcting ourselves in our Atma Samshodhan, correcting ourselves, what is fault in me, how to correct this and that, right? This is my instruction, he said. So, because after all, no one is independent in one sense, right? They are controlled by, of course, their previous life, this and that. But again, who is the controller for that? Main controller is Krishna. In other words, everybody is under control of Krishna, directly, indirectly. Understand? Suppose we are driven by past, some incident, then that is due to Krishna, is it not? No, I'm not responsible. It is making me. Like I've given an example one time. This mother sent his son, her grandson, to fetch flowers, some things for the worship. She was a Vaishnavi. So he went to the flower garden, right? Village flower garden, where anybody can pluck flowers. He was plucking. Then what happens? A black snake came and bit him. In a distance wise, there was one person watching. He saw this black snake came and bit him, and this boy did not put his feet on the snake, or he did not hit the snake. By its own way came and bit him. Fault. Snake is fault. I'm going to kill him. So he came and grabbed the boy, dead. Boy was dead. And he knew who that boy was. So he put him on his shoulder, and then he knew how to catch the snake. He put him in a mantra. Through mantra, caught the snake and put him in a basket. And he carried both. Went to the mother, his mother's grandmother. Oh, my God. Grandson died. Why? How it happened? Snake came, black snake came and bit him. Mother, I was watching. He was grandson, he was faultless. But the snake is bad one. He did not throw him or stone, or he did not hit him, or he did not put his feet on his. He came and so I want to kill that snake. Give me permission. Wait a minute. Because she was a Vaishnavi, she said. If you kill the snake, you think my boy will come back to life? No. Then why you want to kill? No. Whether you give me permission or not, I'm going to kill him. This is fault. Fault is snake. Then snake started talking. Wait a minute. I'm not interested in fighting that boy. What to do? The color, time, forced me. It really dragged me. It made me compulsive. It made me to go and bite him at that time. So I'm not at fault. Wait a minute. If you are not fault, then who Kala? I'm going to kill you and also the Kala. Then Kala, Yama, right? Yamaraj came and he said, wait a minute, you want to kill me too? Then you understand a little more. Previously, this boy killed the snake and now the snake is killing it. The Kala, I'm inspiring. The time came, I inspired it to do that. So now who is responsible? You understand what I'm saying? So you see the background. See the background, So in other words, who is faulted? Nobody, So don't try to judge this way. Best is you connect spiritual. Connect it spiritual. So this is what the Vaishnava does. See, one time there was one person was bringing wood, right? He went to the collecting the wood, right? In a basket he's bringing. And then he saw Tulsi there. Then he thought, wait a minute, that Pujari wants Tulsi. If I give him Tulsi, he'll be very happy. So he took some Tulsi also, put it there on the top of it. On the top, the snake is there. What is it is? it will have the time when he is going to put down the basket in his house, the snake will come and beat him going to bite him. This is the yamas, kalas, instruction. Now the tulsi is there. That's why it's waiting, right? Tulsi is there, it cannot do. So, and at a distance, this Vaishnava saw this. He understood. Oh, the snake is there, he's going to bite him. And and then Yamdutas are also following him, following. Because as soon as he was bitten, they will take this person to the Yamalok, right? So he understood. He talked with him. Wait a minute. Why you are following him? As soon as he's going to put his basket, the snake is going to bite him. He will die, and we are going to drag him to punish him. Oh, how to avoid this? Please, can you help me how to avoid this? Because he's bringing tulsi for me. Oh, is that so? Then what you do? Do one thing. You make a sankalpa that you are taking that tulsi offering to the Lord, that puja, and that the good deed of that puja, should go to him. That is bhakti related, should go to him. Then the snake will not be able to bite it. So the Yamduta revealed this. Then he did that sankalpa, and then he was saved. You understand what I'm saying? So by bhakti, able to change his karma, flow of karma, then obviously become a devotee. He understood, right? Wow, he saved it. Bhakti saved me. That service, bringing tulsi, saved my life. Wow, you see? So, this way, we have to see, not criticize, not complain. See connection. They are all acting like that. That's why Vaishnavas, they don't see, Mahabharata, what they say. Oh. They're all engaged, they're all doing service to Krishna except me. I'm useless, I'm fit for nothing. You see. Madhyama is Prema Maitri Krupa, four types. He has a love for the Supreme Lord. He has a friendship with others. And he shows mercy on the one who's ignorant, and he 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 neglects those who are other means or against dharma or this bhakti like that. They need neglect them. You will not criticize or complain or call name or anything. You just neglect them. Krishna will take care of. So these four. So same way we have to be, strive to become Madhyama, right? We have love for the Lord. And then friendship, because they're all loving Krishna. You see what I'm saying? So if we love Vaishnavas, Lord will be more pleased. This Sevadikari, today we are disappearance day. When Param Gurudev heard his disappearance, he was preaching somewhere, and the next day he came, because those times there was no mobile service and all that. You have to send a telegram. And telegram cannot reach all the places, only certain places. So when Chinchuda Gaudiya Mati came, then he got a telegram saying this person has left. He started crying, He lost himself for a while. He could not say anything. Then he started crying, remembering, but his past time. He was a Jivan Mukta, he says. He was a liberated person. Because he was serving, Seva Vigraha. He is the personification of the deity of service. Narhari, Seva Vigraha. So And Param Gurudev says one thing. See, when we have, do we understand when our teeth are strong and healthy? Do we understand their importance? Mhm. Or anything, right? We don't understand. When we get old, or when the teeth give trouble, when we have no teeth, then you understand. Wow, wait a minute, so important. I neglected them. Oh, I took it for granted. We cry, right? So same way, when this devotee left, he was he was he was giving up, and he gave responsibility entire Devanand Gaudiya Math. Same way, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, Chaitanya Math, Moola Chaitanya Math. He was made the Math Rakshak, meaning Rakshak meaning protector of the Mata, complete hand. And very freely used to go and preach everywhere because he knew complete faith, he will handle things rightly. Everybody will be happy. And same way Param Gurudev, they both came to Navadvip and then started Devan Gaudiya Math. And then Param Gurudev was also used to leave, made him, completely, free. So, so many good qualities. Everybody called him as mother of Gaudiya Math. Never angry with anybody. Everybody was there. So, don't you think Krishna will be more pleased with that? You understand? How he was not quarreling with anybody because he saw Krishna in everyone, and how to quarrel, you know. Uh, very rarely is to very friendly. Suppose you want to chastise somebody, very gently, very friendly is to do. Very, very rare. So even the cows, everything, amazing, amazing. So Gurudev was also like that. I had an incident here when he came to Bangalore. Unthinkable. Not only that last thing, bah, it was an amazing, amazing thing. Their uh, feelings. Bah. So out. Now, regarding the Chaitya Guru, I forgot. I wish I could. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Maybe next time or do that. How to have the relation with the Guru or like that. Vishram. We can be open. See, one time, our Gurudev, of course, they're all doing human-like pastime. They're all, eternal associates. But to teach us a lesson, sometimes they also do these things, right? To bring out. So, Param Gurudev one time is telling, during Harikatha, being sleepy or like that. And Param Gurudev said, because you have told me, you will not have this problem again. See? So when we tell Guru our problem, whom we can tell? One who has complete faith that he will not mislead or he will not exploit or You understand what I'm saying? We have understood completely faith, He will not misuse or like a record, right? Say in America, if you want to have access to your medical records, you understand? Suppose you have admitted in hospital, medical records are very considered as very one's personal thing. Very, not that it can be given to anybody. Not like that. It has, when transmitted, it has to be digital signature, encrypted, so many things. Responsibility. So no one can break it, as So same way, if we have that faith, then if we reveal ourselves, revealing ourselves itself will be to that person who will listen to you very humbly and like your well-wisher, understand? Such a person, then your problem will be solved. Revealing. And if they listen to that, then you consider it is God. So, first step is that revealing, and revealing to Guru and then Krishna is Krishna himself has come. Krishna will be so busy, right? In a sense, sometimes our Gurudev, he says, that's why, we worship Narsingadev, any difficulty, any obstacles, bhakti. No, we don't say to Radharani, we don't want to disturb them. But who is Narsingadev? No different from Krishna, right? Tattva. That's why you can worship Narsingadev, you can also worship Radha Krishna Yugal in Madhurya, no difference. But Narsinga, that is amazing thing, right? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, this is one amazing thing about Narsimhadev. All the 5 relationships can worship Narsingadev without disturbing their, bhav. So same way, Guru, we can reveal ourselves, our thing with Guru, and without getting disturbed. So we make progress with that. So I hope, I think the answers of this question, I think. Yeah. Any other question or?
Gurudev, thank you so much. We have a lot of questions. We can keep going, but also want to be mindful of your time.
Okay. Then there's a little more time, actually. Now I will finish this, what I was saying. Today's amazing, like we talked about Seva Vigraha, amazing personality. That's why it was very dear to Gurudev and Param Gurudev. And then also Param Gurudev, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, same personality. So I wish we pray at his feet. Narari Seva Vigraha, Prabhu. Seva Vigraha, name given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. His service. So we pray at his lotus feet to bestow the mood that he had, service. Mother of Gaudiya Math. Then today is also appearance day. Appearance day, disappearance day. Jayadev Goswami says appearance day. Anyway, appearance, disappearance, there is no difference. But in this calendar, it says no disappearance day. Puri Goswami, Vaibhava Puri Goswami appearance day today. Tomorrow is disappearance day of Jayadev Goswami. So Jaydev Goswami is very, very important because uh, pa- mm, like the same thing we are talking in this case, in these questions, it reflects in his life. Uh, in his marriage, in case, he was not interested in marriage. What happens is, there was a Brahmin, and they didn't have children. So by the mercy of Jagannath, they got a child, baby girl. So they brought her up in a very devotional way. And when about to get marriage age, the father duly brought it to Jagannath Puri and prayed to Jagannath, Jagannath, she belongs to you. You can do anything you want with her. She was born because of your mercy. Then Jagannath told in the dream to that Brahmin, no, I have one devotee, Jaydev Goswami. He gave it to him. So this Brahmin goes and tells Jaydev Goswami, this order of Jagannath. He told me to leave, to give to you as a marriage. So he said, no, I'm not interested. Marriage, no. Then this father didn't do anything. He left her near Jayadev Goswami and went away. Now what Jayadev has to do? Then he said, oh, all right. Now you tell me where you want to go, I will leave you there. No. My father, and it's the instruction of Jagannath that I belong to you. You have to accept me. You are my master. If you don't, I will die here. I will give up my life here. So then Jayadev was, he accepted a wife. Now, he is famous. You remember, he sings our bhajans, right? Dashavatara Sotra, Mangala Geetam, Mangala, Ujjvala Mangala. Radha Krishna Govinda Gopala Nanda Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Utamanda. That. Now so all this compiled by Jaydev Goswami. Then one time he was Gita Govinda, very famous. Right? He composed it in Navadvip, King Lakshman Sen. So many pastimes are there with him. So one time Jagannath looking at, he was hearing this one lady was singing. She was taking care of like a eggplant, like a, yard, right? Vegetable garden, right? So she was singing. Then when Jagannath heard this, he came to him. Then meantime, Pujari, ringing a bell for offering, right? Oh, Jagannath, please come and have your meal. Then Jagannath has to run quickly. So human like that. Then while he was quickly going, his clothes got stuck with these vegetables have a little thorn, right? Get stuck and then it was torn. And then when the king came to take his darshan, he noticed Lord is wearing torn clothes. Then he asked Pujari, what is this? Jagannath is wearing, are you, what happened? You know, see, Jagannath wears all the time new clothes, right? Practically. Jagannath has got so many different kind of servant, but nobody washing the servant, clothes because it doesn't need every time is a new dress, right? so, what happened? Then Pujari is praying to the Jagannath. Oh Lord, you have to tell me, what, otherwise king is going to punish me. Then Jagannath came to dream. He said, I went to listen to this Jayadeva Goswami's Gita Govinda, and while coming very quickly, I got stuck with this thing. So that's why it torn. Then king arranged his singing instead of morning and evening. And apparently we have one devotee there, Jagannath, even today. They write Gita Govinda on the, one time I will show you, Tulsi leaves, Gita Govinda, and then put him on the body of the Jagannath, and then a cloth also. So it is so dear to him before putting rest to him. In other words, all night he is listening to Gita Govinda, right? So nowadays, of course, it was sung by the ladies at that time. But now it is not there. Now other devotees are singing it. One time, in a Champahati, he was there. That is the, is King Lakshman Sen, told him to stay there and then do. He used to make champaka flowers. Champaka flowers is, I don't know what you call it, it's very golden appearing, very aroma, but the tree is very soft, okay? Limbs, the tree branches very soft. Looks, amazing, thing. So he used to worship Radha Madhav with those flowers. And then they appear like Gaurang Mahaprabhu also one time. So then what happened was, to do service to take care of the deities, one time he went to nearby for the service of deity, right? Some collection, right? Because he was very well known, people gave him a lot of money. While he was bringing, he was attacked by the dacoits, the thieves. So bad, they cut off his hand and leg. They was put him in a well, no water or anything. Then he was singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. Then the soldiers went by when they heard this beautiful. They came and they told king and then came him out. See, imagine, this is the power of chanting, pure chanting. Imagine if somebody is cut off with a hand, how long we will live? Couple of minutes, we'll become unconscious, all the blood is out. But Jayadev, so many hours, was chanting and he was alive. He did not feel remorse. Oh, these dacoits, cut off my, no complaint. He did not tell them why it happened, He did not say anything to the world. How it happened, this and that. Then, but he told, if the king is asking what I should do, when saintly people come, sadhus come, you should treat them well, do service to them. So king was the king. And when these dacoits, these thieves who cut off Jayadeva Goswami, And when they heard the king is giving so much donation to the sadhus, they took on the dress of a sadhu, came to king's place. And it was known that they have to meet, they were staying for a while. They have to meet Jayadeva Goswami. So when they met, they understood these are the dacoits, but came in the form of a sadhu. But he did not say anything. King, he instructed king, please give them more donation, and then send him nicely with the security, so that they will not be again attacked by the thieves. So they were going, and the security people are asking, wait a minute, why you are special? Because they gave you more donation, and also king told us to give you support, protect you. Then they came, the dacoits is telling, we know something about Jayadeva Goswami. Jayadeva Goswami is a big thief. And because he told us, don't reveal his inner, past. That's why he gave us more donations, send them off. But as soon as they uttered this word, the Mother Earth cracked open, and these dacoits fell down. So our acharyas, they say, Mother Earth has so much tolerance. Understand? Chamaguna, forgiveness, right? Because we spit on her, we pass urine, stool, she tolerates. But one thing she will not tolerate is the telling a lie. These guys were telling lie. And she could not bear telling a lie about a pure devotee. She, crack open and they fell. And there, whatever donation was given, the soldiers, because it was outside or something, took it to the king, and king said, why you have brought this back? No, but this is what happened. Oh, then Jayadeva Goswami was asked to do this. What is this? He knows. Then he told, he has to tell, he was crying, oh, because his fault they died like that. He wanted to jump in and die also. Then at that time, he was, something, remember, and then he got back his limbs back, remembering that. Because such a great soul. His wife was also very chaste, the king's brother-in-law died, right, one time. So at that time, if the wife are so chaste, they will not keep their life. They will die along with the husband. This is what Jayadeva Goswami was telling. But the queen did not like this. So one time she made to test Padmavati, the wife of Jayadeva, wrongly, some false thing, saying, oh, Jayadeva Goswami died. As soon as she heard husband is died, immediately she left her body, Padmavati. Then when Jayadeva was, then the queen is crying, because if the king comes to know, he will chastise her. So she called Jayadeva, this is what happened. Then don't worry. So Jayadeva touched Padmavati again, and she came back to life. Like that, amazing personality, So there are so many incidences where Krishna came disguised and wrote what Jayadeva was not able to write. Krishna putting his head at the lotus feet of Radharani. So, but his vision of the dacoits that not complaining or even tolerating cutting his own limbs to that extent. So, and you can say, wait a minute, how come if Krishna is senseless to put such a pure devotee into such a distress situation? See, we might ask questions like this. But why Krishna does these things? To show that the devotees, even in extreme situation, they will not complain. Rather, they will glorify Krishna. They will hang on to Krishna more than before. You see? So, that's why everything is favorable to devotees. Okay, nothing unfavorable. You know. So, only thing is our change of, our mindset. Always positive. Right? It is sent by Krishna, by Gurudev, and it is for my benefit. I do not understand now how, but I know it is for my benefit. It may look very bitter now, very difficult and bitter. But if you see in that angle, it is no longer bitter, actually it becomes sweet. Bitterness is there when you forget Krishna. When we see disconnection, when we are disconnected from Krishna, everything, even a nice thing, becomes bitter. You see connection with Krishna becomes sweeter. Right? So this is the key. So we pray at the lotus feet of Jayadeva Goswami now to give that amazing devotion. And also Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami's day. We'll talk more next time. Amazing personality. He also taught us so much things. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Again, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams to devotees, so glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. We'll close the program with Jai Dvani. Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Ji Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Patashtatara Shata Shri Man Bhaktivedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Vishnu Patashtatara Shata Shri Man Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Om Vishnu Patashtatara Shata Shri Man Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Vishnu Patashtatara Shata Shri Man Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Vishnu Patashtatara Shata Shrimad Bhakti Pragya Keshava Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Vishnu Patashtatara Shata Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Paramad Bhagavad Pravara Shri Shri Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Shri Shri Shalasachinanda Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki Jai. Niti Lila Prishta Vaishnava Sarvabhuma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Shri Srila Bhagavad Bhushan Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Jai. Shri Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Goswami Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunatha Ashwat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Ji Shri Gaura Parshada Vrindi Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindi Ki Jai. Shri Antardeep Mayapur Simantadeep Godrumadeep Maidyadeep Koladeep Ritudeep Janadeep Madradrumadeep Vitradeep Atmaka Shinavadeep Dam Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Govardhan Dvadash Manatmika Shri Vraj Mandal ki jai, Shri Radha Kunshama Kunkaga Yamuna Tulasi Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shrimati Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Starshan Chakra Jal ki jai, Shri Kshetra Mandal ki jai, Sarva Vigna Vinashakari Shri Nrsimha Dev ki jai, Bhakta Pravara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri Hariram ki jai, Shri Sampradaya ki jai, Acharya Acharya ki jai, Kara Mata Radha Shri Chaitanya Mata की जय, श्री श्री केशव जी गौरी माता अवतार शाखा माता समूह की जय, ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समगत भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री गौर निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। वृंदाय तुलसी देवी प्रिय केशव श्री कृष्ण भक्त प्रदे सत्यवाच्य नमो नमः। वंशकापतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो वैष्णवेभ्यो। Hare Krishna Dandavat pronounced dear devotees. We will have another program with Gurudev on Saturday at the same time. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them my way. And hope you have a beautiful day. Hare Krishna Dandavat pronounced.